Hi everyone, my name is Ricardo De Cruz. I'm with 7-Step ADAS. Today we're going to go over a 2019 Ford Escape. On this vehicle we have a new hood, a new grille, a new bumper, an active grille shutter that was replaced, and the cruise control module mounts to the active grille shutter assembly. The cruise control module is here on this vehicle and it requires recalibration if you remove it and or replace it. The first step towards recalibration is checking the angle at which the sensor is mounted. We have 3 different tools here, one of which looks identical to the OE tool in the instructions, and 2 of which are ADAS tools that we have utilized here for years while doing other forms of calibrations. We're going to show you what the difference between the 3 tools are and how they can each work towards your advantage or maybe not. We'll see what happens while we do it. Right now, to get started, we're going to do a tour of the 2019 Ford Escape and find out what features we can identify by just walking around the vehicle, stepping inside, and turning it on. Let's get started identifying ADAS features. First thing you will see is that I have the radar cover off. So we're kind of cheating a little bit, but this cover does say ACC on it, standing for Adaptive Cruise Control. The cover actually goes right there, and it is protecting the cruise control module, which is the radar module used for active cruise control. Looking straight up, we do not see a front camera. But backing up a little bit, what we do see are parking sensors going around to both sides of the front bumper. So we can actively see cruise control, parking sensors, no front 360. This car does not have 360. Coming up to the windshield, we do notice we have an active lane keep camera. Look at that, there's a camera heater there. We do see another camera, but this is a driving camera. Make sure to know the difference. This camera, while it may have some AI-like features to warn a driver, this has nothing to do with ADAS that is equipped from the factory for this vehicle. Only this does. Continuing around, we verify on the driver's side mirror that we do not have a camera. This vehicle definitely does not have 360 bird's eye view. What we do see is a light and a blinker. Coming around, blind spot. That is the warning that will turn yellow. We do not see a heated symbol, so we assume this may not be heated, but this car definitely has blind spot. Ford also has their touchless key entry, which your owner's manual will likely have a code or a way to program a code in the event of an emergency. Continuing around, rear bumper, we do not see any obvious signs other than parking sensors. The rear has 6, where the front only had 4. Oh, here's a camera. So we have a backup camera, but not a 360 view. An electronic tailgate, but that has nothing to do with ADAS. And a bunch of stuff we got to take out before we perform our calibration. Continuing around, we are now going to confirm on the passenger side mirror that blind spot definitely should exist. No camera. Light and blinker. That is all for our 2019 Ford Escape. Now we're going to step in and confirm what we've identified. So on the steering wheel here we have cruise control activation. There is the adaptive where you can select the distance, set, resume, cancel. Here we have menu controls likely related to the cluster. Here we have infotainment style controls. Let's see anything on our left. No, we can open the tailgate, we can turn our fog lights on, and we have adjusting of the lights based on how bright you may want them. Turning our key on, with the instrument cluster lit up, Now we see auto stop start. We see parking sensor control. We see what might be automated parking. Maybe we'll get to test that out. And traction control off. I do not see any active way to turn on or off lane keep. We're going to do the key one more time and see. Oh, there it is. Lane keeping mode, alert plus aid. Intensity, high, normal, low, as well as the rest of the controls for driver assist. Here are the driver assist controls. As each control is shown and highlighted, if you click the OK button, it will toggle on or off. You can select anything you want to turn off, press OK, and it will uncheck it. Press OK again, and it will check it one more time. Any submenus will have things like sensitivity or mode of operation. But this is how you would access all the driverless features in the 2019 Ford Escape and turn anything on or off or make appropriate sensitivity adjustments. We have successfully identified all of the features on this 2019 Ford Escape, and now we're going to prepare to calibrate the cruise control module, where the first step is checking the alignment of the module. After correctly having identified our ADAS sensors and systems on the 2019 Ford Escape, we're now going to perform the cruise control module alignment, and then we're going to perform the dynamic calibration on this vehicle. Today's tools will look a little different than what you normally see us use when performing static calibrations. Today's actual tools in the instruction calls for these two. We have these two tools that we frequently use that we're going to see if we can get a similar or same result with this. The Ford instructions state to use a combination square with a level towards the back. This is something you can pick up at Home Depot. It's relatively inexpensive. It fits just like the instructions state. What I would suggest is you line it up towards the bottom of the cruise control module, because that's how the instructions show it. If you place your finger right there and kind of hold it in place, you put enough pressure to make the front even and get a reading. Looking at this, this looks relatively even and good to go. We're going to use these tools to see if we get a similar result. This is a Milwaukee angle level that allows me to adjust the angle to find out how far off it may or may not be. This is our Klein digital angle finder. I'm going to turn the Klein on, turn it, and reset it. Looking at it this way, we are showing it's off 1 degree. According to that, it's tilted down. So it would be tilted 1 degree forward. Put that back down, 0. The Milwaukee, you can see, similar to the other combination T-square, but because the level is further up, it appears the bubble is also further up. The adjustment screw is right here. Before you would make any adjustments, I would rock this left to right to make sure that this is not seized unless it has been replaced with everything new. This will ensure that you have an adjustment that actually moves and hopefully won't seize and snap on you, causing you to have to remove the bumper and start all over again. These three tools helped us accomplish the job that we needed to do today. This tool being the one that is referred to in the OE method, and these gave us confidence in our conclusion. An easy way to remove this cover is to put your fingers around the bumper and push this top tab in and this top tab in, and that'll help you kind of pop it forward. Then you can pull on it a little bit and get it to come out. Ford instructions state that the deviation allowed is plus or minus 0 to 3 degrees. Being that the digital angle finder showed we were 1 degree off and we were within the combination T-square center bubble, I was confident enough to leave it in place and attempt to perform the dynamic cruise control calibration as is. The only thing I'm unsure of at this point is the fuel requirement. When looking at the TEXA instructions state that the vehicle must have at least 3/4 of the fuel tank filled with the vehicle emptied, the tire pressure checked, and things of that nature. However, I'm not using the TEXA to calibrate at this time. I'm going to use my FJDS subscription, and I have everything all set up to use my laptop and my Cardac Plus 3. My goal is to leave here, get to a gas station, and start the sequence, because I have a feeling that FJDS will surprise me when I'm about to start the calibration with the fuel reminder. Since I'm not sure, I'm going to prepare everything I can, get to a gas station, and start the sequence that way. If it does not tell me to put fuel in the vehicle, I did not find any other instructions that made this a requirement. Since I can't get paid on that requirement from Ford, I'm not going to perform that action if it doesn't state it in the scan tool. I'm going to get this ready now. Thank you everybody for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave any comments below or reach out privately. Thank you everybody, and we're going to get going.